came apart pretty easy. All the screws, everything is still gonna go in. This blade, as you can see here, doesn't have too much life left in it. It's almost to the end. Someone really used this thing, and I think I'll probably have to find a new blade if I want to use this as well. Chip breaker, good condition, good shape. What's kind of cool is we have here our lateral adjuster is almost in mint condition. You can still see the patent dates on it. And the patent dates are right there. I'm going to take it apart. Ooh, yeah. Everything's coming apart real nicely. See if I can just push that out. Nice. Easy. A little loose on the handle, but that's alright. Take that one off. Take that off. Wiggle. Alright, we got those two screws. It's going right in. Of course, if you're going to do this, make sure that you've had your tetanus shot beforehand. You don't want to be getting tetanus in a time like this. The screws going plop, right in. And then the last piece I'm going to take off is the blade adjuster. I'll see if I can get a shot with the patent dates inside of this thing. Hopefully. And yeah, you can kind of make it out. There's some printing right there inside of it. This is also in great condition. It says patent. Let's see if I can start this. Patent 1867. There's some writing that I can't really make out. Maybe it says 1858, August 6th, 1867. And then I can definitely see a Bailey patent in there. So, okay. Oh, my shirt is dirty. Alright. That's okay. It is hot today, as it is most days, but welcome. This is the start of the live stream. I'm hitting this table. I gotta change these lights a little bit. The lighting is terrible. Okay, is that a little bit better? That's still bad. How about that? Okay, that's better. Alright, let's see how it is looking on the restoration stream. Do I have... I don't have my second video. Video capture device. Video capture device 2. And that's the one. Let's add that up in the corner. Alright. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. This thing is having a little heart attack. That's weird. It's lagging a lot. But why? Why is it lagging? Why is my whole computer having a freaking heart attack? Let's stop that. Something's going on. what's going on or why. How does this one look? It's just this. Oh, it's like because I'm doing two different. So I'm just a bit better now. Alright, good thing no one has joined this chat yet. That's a little bit better. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened with OBS Studios, but for some reason it is not working all that well right now. I can't do a little floating head up in the corner because something's going on with the update and it's just not allowing me to do that. But that is alright. I am going to just jump right into this anyways, even though it is just me in the chat today. And that's alright, because sometimes that's just the way it goes. But that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so that I can talk about critters and do a little carving. And that's what I'm going to do today. I kind of had a little chaotic video that I put together really last minute. I was just working and I needed to get that video out. And I don't think it demonstrated the best information that I could. But... and very dirty. I just finished my work day and then I put on a new shirt and then I got lumber in the mail. Yada yada yada. I'm a mess. Okay, today's prize. Ooh, is this tiny little baby marking gauge. Yep, it's a cutie. This is what we're competing for. What I'm competing for. Hey ho from Slow. Hello from Slow. What are you doing in Slow? I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna jump right into this. I don't know if there are people in the chat. It is not showing on my YouTube Studios control panel, but it seems like Ish is here. So hello Ish. Welcome. Good to see you. Today we're talking about coyotes. Okay, let's get this zoomed in and we can get this show on the road. Alright. Stuff. Well, I'm going to start off with just updating where we're at with this whole thing, this whole process. And so far, we have our roadrunners, our jackrabbits, and then our rooks. Picking up a little fish. Where are you, the two of you going? Oh boy. I did recently drop this set and I may be now missing one of my bishops. I'm sure that will come back in time. Okay, so when I started making these, I did a little test model of my king here, and this is a little coyote that I was working on. I don't really have to zoom in here, sorry about that. A little coyote, not the best. And yesterday I started working on a new coyote, kind of adopting the new skills that I have learned, and this is what the new coyote looks like. A lot better detail, more features to it. It's got feet, it's got back legs. Yep, we are talking about coyotes today. And this is what the new one looks like, and that is going to be the king of the set. Let me turn this set around. I also found out that the coyotes take a very long time to carve, and so I am going to be just working on that today. And I'm going to be talking about the coyotes, what makes them interesting, because they are fascinating little creatures. And so I'm going to put this all away, get on my carving gloves, get out my carving tools, and I'm going to start this show. Put that away. Put this away. Okay, dokie, where is everything? And I get this little piece right here. I want it to be right here. Gotta find it. Okay, that is it. A little bit forward. Perfect. Again, today, the competition, if people are competing, is for this tiny little baby marking gauge that I threw together in just a few minutes. It does have a screw here at the top. You can adjust your little marking forward or back, and it allows you, if I have a spare piece of lumber around here, which I do, it allows you to make an accurate and consistent mark onto a piece of wood. And that allows you to make clean, accurate cuts. It is just a small tool that is very helpful in a shop. It's also just a really cute tool that you can keep in your pocket. That is what we are competing for on this particular day. Alright, with that, let's get this show on the road. Alright, I'm talking about coyotes. Coyotes. You all know them. You all love them. The way I'm going to be working on this design is I'm going to be following this design that I made just the other day. And I'm going to first draw out where I want my pieces to be, making myself some little feet there. And bringing this in, just giving myself a little bit of details of the things I really want to remove. From there, I'm going to move on to the other parts of this build. So really, what I'm looking for is, this, my beautiful glove, which is doing very well and keeping my hand very safe. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. And we're just going to get right into it. So, I'm sure y'all have all seen coyotes at some point in your life. They are everywhere, all over the place, and they are really kind of known for being one of the most adaptable of animals out there. I talk a lot about different types of adaptable animals here on this live stream, but coyotes beat them all. It doesn't matter whether humans move into an area or move out of an area, or there's construction or deconstruction, if the environment is breaking. Or anything else, the coyote survives all the same. And it does this with a lot of different adaptabilities that we're going to kind of get into, but I also want to start for the people that are here now, because it is 6:13. We are going to start the challenge of the night. And the challenge of the night is going to be just like it has been in the past, where I am going to have 4 different questions throughout the evening, and how you answer them is going to determine whether or not you win. And really, there is no rules to this that I have set out. I have some kind of answers written down, but for the most part, it's whatever makes me laugh or makes the chat laugh. So do your best to bring out that funny bone. But we're going to start off with our first quiz question, which is, and put this in the chat please, What is a coyote's favorite cheat day treat? What is a coyote's favorite cheat day treat? Now, I do understand that coyote is not exactly the most simple of words to rhyme with. There's not a lot of puns that go with coyote, at least in my research. And so I suggest thinking outside the box. They howl, they got paws, they have packs, they eat carrion. Yeah, if you're looking for puns, think outside the box. But that is my suggestion. What is a coyote's favorite cheat day snack? Alright, back to it. So, one of the reasons that coyotes, and this is going to be interesting for y'all that live in neighborhoods, that one of the reasons that coyotes actually thrive when human populations come into an area is because of their strength and adaptability. They will find different ways to find new food sources. It doesn't really matter to them if they are hunting. That's great. They work together as teams. If they are individuals, they hunt smaller prey. If they are living in a city, they will hunt trash cans and rodents. If they live in a neighborhood, they will hunt small animals. They are opportunistic, and they are also learners. So if you suspect badger, mott, not honey badger, you think the coyote's favorite snack is a honey badger. If you think so, we will leave it up to fate. So anyways, it doesn't really matter where they are. They will always adapt to the environment in order to give themselves the best chances of survival. And that's not really a bad thing. Scientists have found that when coyotes are healthy in an environment, whether that is in a wild ecosystem or if that is in a neighborhood, it tends to actually have a positive impact on that space. Maybe not so much on people's small dogs or their cats, but on the ecosystem as a whole. They're kind of a balancer. They tend to maintain and caretake for the environments that they are in by basically eating off all the other, I think they're called mesopredators. Because they are learners, I'm going to go back a little bit. Because coyotes are learners, they tend to manage the land that they're in. So, say there is a lower amount of rodents in an area, they will start to hunt somewhere else. Roadrunner pie. Yeah, I know. This is a tough one. Bamba, Roadrunner pie is a good answer because as I was going through this, I had a really hard time myself coming up with puns, even with the internet helping me. So this is going to be I'm going to have to be more forgiving on this. So they will manage and caretake for the environments that they are in, and part of that is killing off the mesopredators. So if the coyotes are hunting birds and they're realizing that some animals are just killing off the birds for fun and the bird population is dwindling, they will kill off the predator that is just killing the birds for fun so that they can have an easier time managing the bird population themselves. So because of that, they tend to kill off cats and foxes in pretty much all areas that they go into. And this is very helpful for the ecosystem because it allows the biodiversity, and because of that, because the biodiversity begins to develop, the ecosystem, plant life tends to develop because there's not so much carrion and decay. Different illnesses like Lyme's disease and Hanta tend to go down in areas that coyotes are living in. And so they are a very important part of an ecosystem, and they've pretty much been able to figure out how to become everywhere, even with human interference. Even though humans often try to kick them out of areas, they stick around and continue to help. But it is a much, they do work in a larger picture than often I think humans tend to see, because you only really see the immediate impact of your critters being taken out. Anvil. I might have to redo this one. I'm kind of noticing now that when I made the ears, I may have cut the gap a little bit in the ears too much, and this one kind of looks just a little bit derpy. So, yeah. If y'all have ever seen Spooderman, it's kind of giving me Spooderman vibes right now. And okay, back to the coyotes. So they are very adaptable. They are good for the ecosystem. And even if they weren't, it wouldn't. Oh no! I chipped off a piece of Spooder Yoti's ear. Oh no. Okay, it's all right. Dingo coyote. So even if the coyotes weren't good for the environment, it wouldn't really matter. They have an adaptation called compensatory reproduction. And basically that is, they are such an adaptable creature that if they realize, because they run in packs and groups and they have these large complex social networks, if they realize that a lot of them are dying off really quickly, they will actually permanently change their reproduction technique, and they will start to have litters more often. The females will shorten their gestation period, and they can produce fully ready to go coyotes in less and less times. Sonic. Sorry, I get distracted by the chat. Yeah, so they can start to reproduce faster, and this is a permanent change that they will do to their pack until the next generation. And so it is often unadvised for hunters or pest control to kill off populations, or try to kill off the populations of coyotes, because it has the opposite effect of what they are going for. And so it's more about just trying to mitigate the problem and help people find ways to keep their animals safe, rather than actually trying to kill off or remove the coyotes. Because once they're in, and if they realize that they are losing population, whether through being moved or by being killed off, they will just begin to multiply. So it's kind of a tricky situation to be in, but in that they don't really do anything bad for the environment as a whole. It's more just people's personal preferences. And they don't really attack humans. It's not really a thing. Even if they are really hungry, they don't attack humans. They prefer carrion. They prefer pretty much anything else other than going after humans. I did read a little bit or hear a little bit that they will go after small infants, but that's also very rare. If you do live in an area where coyotes are prevalent, just be careful with your small critters, because they could easily get got, and coyotes will get them. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna concentrate right here, because if I slip too much, I might just lop off the thigh of this derpy looking coyote. Roadrunner strikes again. Okay, oh my god, 6:24. I run out of time so fast in these videos. Okay, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of this. Kind of get a little bit of that. Alright. Break off that piece right there. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit of shape right here. Hopefully after... I can't not see it. Just looks so derpy. Hold on. I gotta pull up an image. Okay. Yep. Hold on, people. Okay, we're gonna bring this over here. I'm gonna add this image real quick in a hurry. Okay, so this is Spooderman. It's kind of like a meme character of like a very dumb adventures kind of thing. And this is my Coyote. So I think he looks like Spooderman. But let me know what you think. Okay, we have to move on to quiz question. Spooderman, go away. Shoo. Alright, we have to move on to quiz question 2, which is... What is a Coyote's favorite movie? Coyote's favorite movie. I'll go for... I'm just going to let y'all answer this however you want to answer this. What is a Coyote's favorite movie? Okay, back to the stream. Alright, I can't get my face in this video anymore because something happened on the Studio Maker that I have where pretty much if I have 2 different scenes with using the same camera, it glitches out and neither of them work properly. Nature's Dog About Rabbits. It's a good one. It's a good one. So, as I keep on working on Spooder Coyote. Okay. I'm gonna take a little sip of my coffee. That's good stuff. Last week's winner, before we go into that, is Robbie Rodriguez, and is winning this custom set of beautiful Elder Wand chopsticks. This will be being sent tomorrow, along with our first week's winner of this, the Honey Badger for Tim. CME retail. But tonight's winner will be receiving this, a custom marking gauge, micro marking gauge for tiny little precise woodworking, or even better if you aren't much of a woodworker and you just have paper that you gotta cut from time to time. I don't know if this will work, but we're gonna try it anyways. Nope, that's a... it's okay. Yeah. Or if you got a little sheet of paper that you need to cut off. Would you look at that? Just a little strip. Anyways, that's more of my notes about Coyotes, but that doesn't matter too much. But that is what we're competing for. Thank you for the love for the Coyote. We should all really appreciate our Coyotes out there that do the good work. This tool. Oh yeah, I did not sharpen my tools before this live stream, and I am paying for that now. Anyways, okay, so Coyotes, they have adapted to all different types of environment. They adapt to deserts, they adapt to tundras, they adapt to cities. They will pretty much live anywhere. They will eat all types of meat, which is pretty much anywhere. And another reason they are able to adapt to all these places is because of their fur coats. So, unlike dogs, or actually I don't know about wolves, or pretty much any other animal that I know of off the top of my head, coyotes have 2 layers of fur. They have their outer layer, which is more like a wicking layer. It does a really good job at repelling moisture, rain. And then they have an insulated layer, which is more like duck down, which also does a good job of repelling rain, but is more of a fluffy layer. And so underneath their fur coats, even though coyotes do look really skinny, they are even skinnier because they have a good amount of insulation that they will shed or grow more of depending on the season or the environment that they are living in at the time. So if they live in a really cold area, Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. You know what? I agree. I agree with that. Fear and Loathing Las Vegas would be a Coyote's favorite movie. Oh man, I really should have sharpened this knife. Oh, it's okay. We're working through it. So they have these 2 different coats that they pretty much can use for any type of environment. If they live in the snow, their coat will continue to grow more and more, especially that insulating layer. And if they are living in the desert, especially during the summer, that inside layer will pretty much shed away completely, leaving just the outside layer, which then acts as a sunscreen. And because it's just a light layer, it actually gives them more of a heat insulation where the breeze is able to come through, but the sun is not able to come through. And because of these things, they are still able to just live anywhere they want and go anywhere they want. They have it's hard to understate how incredible they are at adapting to different environments. Let's see. And they are becoming even more adaptable. Well, if you know anybody that lives on the East Coast, they have a different breed of coyote called the Eastern Coyote. And this is not just a coyote. This is a mix breed that has started to pop up, and it's a mix of a wolf, a dog, and a coyote. So it's about it looks like a coyote, except it's about 25% bigger than a coyote, and it has the pack mindset and intelligence of a wolf. It has the problem solving of a coyote. We haven't gotten into it, but coyotes are very good problem solvers. And it has this kind of weird fearless factor that has come with domesticated animals. And so these ones are a bit more dangerous, I presume. But I don't know too much. I did not get too much into the Eastern Coyotes because that is not the coyote that I have around here. And if we did, it'd probably be a bigger problem. But as for now, we have plenty of packs of coyotes out here, and they are just wonderful for the environment. Something you think about when you hear coyotes, especially out here in the desert, is they are very distinct howls and yips. I do not have an audio clip, but I will do my best to imitate it right now. It's like a yip, 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 yip. And this is what I look like when I make that sound. And the thing about this is it sounds random, but it's actually a more complex language than pretty much any other animal in the animal kingdom. They have found that there are at least 11 different words or sounds that the coyotes make, and they can communicate different things from something's over here to let's meet up to, you know, we're going hunting, or like watch out, humans, car, and this will change depending on the different region of coyotes, and it turns out that they also have accents. So there's different dialect depending on what region of coyotes you are interacting with or hearing. So eastern coyotes will have similar language. Some things might be the same because it all stems from, like, basically, like, coyotes, they migrate and they will, like, their languages will tend to merge, but for the most part different regions and different sects of coyotes will have completely different language structures from one another. Yeah, and their yips are not always that they caught a rabbit or something. Sometimes it is, but that is a myth that I've heard thrown around a few times, that coyotes only yip when they catch prey. It is often they are just playing or having a good time, kind of calling out to each other saying, hey, what did you up to? And trying to enjoy each other's company. I'm glad you're still able to make it. Tim says, watching from 37,000 feet up in the air, the stream is glitching, but learning a lot about coyotes. I'm getting into their, do they like to tunnel, from Ish, and any movie with chicken. So I imagine they like Chicken Little or any movie where the coyote wins. Yeah. Anyways, they got their language. Chicken and a good soundtrack is their cheat day snack. Coyotes do love chickens. They love chickens for a lot of reasons. First is they just like the taste of chickens. I'm going to go back to they like the taste of chickens. It's meat. It's usually easy prey because they have put them in a nice little box ready for the coyotes, and coyotes can tend to figure out things like latches, especially if they are able to spend some time watching the owners of the chickens. And they will watch owners pretty much throughout an entire day, trying to figure out, they'll watch humans pretty much through an entire day, trying to figure out the patterns that we have, and so that they can move around areas where humans and other animals exist without ever being seen. So they will plan, they'll plot, they'll learn, and then they will just exist in that area, knowing that the chances of a human coming into that spot is unlikely because humans are pattern-based creatures and we tend to do the same things over and over again. And so they have learned this, and now they exist in our space without ever being seen. And yes, for a question that was asked earlier, chickens do like tunnels. Or not chickens. I don't know if chickens like tunnels. One of my lights is blinking. I will be right back. Coyotes like tunnels. They are burrowers. And so, unlike other dogs or wolves that tend to just nest out in the open, coyotes will dig a hole underground or take over another animal's burrow, and then it'll just hang out and sleep there during the day. I did not mention this before, but coyotes are nocturnal. They are best hunters at night. That is when they like to come out. That is when they like to talk and yip at each other. And that is when they like to hunt. Because most of their prey, though they will go after deer or larger animals, is mostly just mice, rodents, small birds, and of course chickens. Oh my god, it's already 6:40. These quizzes, I'm running out of time so fast. Okay, 640. And we are done with one side of this coyote. It doesn't really come out in this, but it is coming out into something. All right, quiz question number 3. Okay, the quiz question is, Superman's greatest nemesis is a coyote named blank. So what you're going to do is just come up with the best coyote supervillain name that you can think of. And that is question number 3. A Superman's greatest nemesis is a coyote named blank. Alright. Back to it. So, coyotes, they tend to come out at night. They are night hunters, and let's get over here. And they have night's vision that is about 5 times better than humans. And so if you've seen on coyotes, this coyote named Kryptonite. Cryptic night. If you've seen on different animals when you see them at night or in dark places that it looks like they have a glint in their eyes, this is called a tapetum lucidum. A tapetum lucidum. And it's basically a layer that exists right over the eyes. You'll see it in any kind of nocturnal hunter, spiders, I don't know. Cats, vampires. Vampires are big on it. Any time of cryptic animal, like chupacabras, also definitely have that tapetum lucidum. If you see someone that is maybe possessed, big giveaway right there. The Howler, yes! It's called a tapetum lucidum, and the way it works is there's this layer of filament on the outside of the coyote's retina, and so as light passes through the retina, it basically gets reflected back to the tapetum lucidum and bounces back into the retina a second time. So in that micro fraction of a second, the coyote is basically able to get a few more. Is basically to like see. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? John Wick. The exposure, that's the one, is basically able to get double the exposure than other animals without that adaptation. Yeah, so they are able to move around. This damn Spooderman is getting me. Lex the desert honey desert honey badger. Yeah, is that too on the nose, Tim? That a coyote's secret supervillain name is just Lex Luthor. I did not realize that Lex Luthor was a coyote. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to put you right here. Ooh, I'm running a dangerous game right now because I did not sharpen these knives and I used them so much over the last couple days. They are very dull and I'm having to almost saw with them, which is really not sound carving technique. Don't tell anyone from the carving organization for woodworkers that I'm doing that. I would get shunned. Alright. So, they have their night vision. Let's see what else I got. Yes. When they are hunting at night, they are able to run and move at a max speed about 43 miles per hour, which is the max speed that a coyote has been clocked at. That is a not illegal speed in residential areas and is almost highway legal in some places. And they can maintain that speed for a long period of time. They can also, for an even longer period of time, maintain a speed of 25 miles per hour. And they can do that for an hour or more, just running 25 miles per hour with minimal rests. This allows them to hunt prey for long periods of time and also travel great distances to find new areas to hunt, because they often do. Something unique that coyotes do, in difference to other types of animals, is they maintain their hunting grounds. I was kind of talking about this a little bit earlier with how they kill off mesopredators because they don't like that the mesopredators basically just kill for fun. They will also not kill for fun, and they'll go a step farther. They will avoid killing so that they have better chances of surviving later. And the way that they do this is they will do rotational hunting patterns. And so they'll find a few different areas that they like to hunt in, and they will notice the population. They will come together as groups, which is like crazy. This is weird. This is human. It feels very human, like what I'm talking about. They will come together as groups and pretty much decide that they are not going to hunt certain types of animals. In coyote language, it's not like they're talking about it, they just don't do it. And then they will leave and wait for that population to regrow and restabilize, and then they will come back and hunt that population of like rodent or whatever again. And so they will have these large cyclical territories that they maintain in order to have a constant food source, which just feels wild to me, that they are so cognizant of their land management, and often better than probably modern humans are in a lot of cases. Because they will just be like, well, I guess there is no more rodents right now, because humans killed them all off, so we're just going to eat something else until those rodents come back. And then we'll just move on, and we will not kill off the population. Which is pretty cool, I think. Okay, Spooderman. You're looking pretty okay. Not the cutest coyote I've ever made, but that's alright. Alright. Moving on now. When they do hunt, kind of getting into a little bit of the hunting practices of coyotes. When they do hunt, they hunt as individuals, they hunt as pairs, they hunt as packs, and they'll pretty much do whatever is most convenient to them. For the most part, they hunt either in pairs or as individuals. And this is because when a coyote finds a mate, they mate for life, which is typically about 8 to 10 years to 15 years. They will mate for life, and that coyote will become their hunting partner. They will raise all their litters together, sharing their responsibility. They will teach their young. They'll teach their young how to teach their young. So they'll have entire family lines where they will have the parents, they will have grandparents, they will have kids, and each of them will learn from each other in different ways. And the different micro adaptations or learnings that each coyote has learned while their time existing, they will teach that to the next generation and continue to work together until they eventually pass away. And with their partnerships, Good to see you back. And with their monogamous partnerships, they will try their best to learn from each other. And so over their entire lifespan, that hunting partner will become better and better because their techniques will start to merge, and they are also always trying to learn from each other and always adapting to each other's style until they become an extremely efficient hunting duo. So this is kind of part of the reason I think it's such a good fit. Why I have my coyote and my roadrunner are going to be my king and queen, because they are the monogamous ones. They are the hunter ones. They learn from each other's partners. They are great pairs, good hunters, and I think they're a good fit for this chess set that I got going right now. Whoa, it is 6:50. Oh my god, I only have a few more minutes left. Okay, we're going on to question number 4. Question number 4. It might have been one that you've seen before. And before we get into question number 4, for those of you that are just joining, I'm going to go over all the questions one more time, and we are competing for this, a tiny little marking gauge. Alright, question number 4 is... why was the coyote sad? You may have seen this question before because I used it last time, and I just instead got this picture of a coyote. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. I appreciate you all sticking with these questions. Coyote puns are very difficult, and coyote humor is really kind of underdeveloped. If you go online and you click in coyote jokes, it's a tough time out there. They're just bad. Yeah. Like one that I was reading, probably my favorite one, had a bad day. Sandra says the coyote had a bad day, that's why it was sad. My favorite coyote pun, and which was probably or coyote joke, and was probably the peak of the coyote jokes, and this is not a coyote joke, this is just a joke that someone put coyote in, but they added it to this list, is what did the donkey say to the coyote when the coyote asked the donkey to join his band? And the donkey said, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm a little hoarse, you know. But that was the peak of the coyote humor, was using a different joke that basically any different animal or creature or noun could be inserted into that spot. Bambo says he gained a higher sentence and understands the folly of man. That's tough. That's tough out there for that little coyote. Alright, we're going to see if we can finish up this leg. It says, he found out Roadrunner is his long-lost brother. Aw. Okay, trying to carve off. I'm gonna chip a little bit off here. Ooh, too much. See, that's what you do when you lose focus just for a moment. That's okay. I got this magical thing called super glue. Oh man. Ooh, okay. Just keep on carving. Keep on carving. He's just a little guy. Coyotes are pretty cool. Alright, is there anything that I left out? They run fast. They hunt fast. They got different breeds of them. They got night vision. Oh, I have an entire separate other page here. Okay, what did I miss? What's interesting? What can I fill in this last few minutes with? Oh my god, it's so close to the end. Alright. Okay, we're gonna do rapid. They hunt together. They hunt in solos. Their hunting strategies vary depending on the abilities and skills of their partner. They'll use decoys. They will learn different movement speeds and different kind of patterns of animals and humans to better avoid them and also better hunt them. They will, if they live in cities, they will learn traffic patterns, lights. They will learn work schedules of the humans and also when humans have breaks, when they don't have breaks, in order to best scavenge in the area. They tend to reduce things like hantavirus by managing populations both in cities and in rural areas. They can swim up to 2 miles. They can climb 15 feet into a tree. They are proficient swimmers. Their saliva has an antibacterial solvent in it. They tend to learn from their experiences, their successes, and their failures. They're lifetime learners. They can remember faces. They can remember scents. They can remember humans. They can remember different animals, locations. Part of their managing the landscape kind of techniques. They can also count and do I don't know how scientists figured this out, but they can count and they can do simple arithmetic. They're wild animals. Yes, they can open doors like a velociraptor. If the door has one of those hinges like the velociraptor, they have been known to figure out doors, latches, simple latches, simple hinges, different kind of push things like garage doors. They will use tools. So if they need to get something across a river, like if they get a bunch of carry-on and they're like, I can't carry this, but I gotta swim this 2 miles, they will find something floating and they will put the food onto it and then they will push it across the body of water. Wild. It's wild. We're cooked. Yeah, we are. It's over for us. Yeah. I don't know. What did they say? Doggone. All right. We're going to go over this real fast. If you put all your answers into one chat, numbered 1 through 4, you could be the winner of this beautiful, beautiful marking gauge. And this was a lot to talk about and not my funniest one ever because coyotes are nothing but the most serious of animals. Okay, quiz question number 1. What is a coyote's favorite What is a coyote's favorite cheat day treat? Question number 2. A coyote's favorite movie. Question number 3. Superman's greatest nemesis is a coyote named blank. And question number 4. Why was the coyote sad? All right. That is all the questions. With 2 minutes to spare. Oof. Yeah. Coyotes, pretty incredible creatures. And yeah, they just live. They live everywhere. They do it all. And I think we should give them a bit more respect because they do so much for our environment and they never ask for anything but a small sacrifice of your small cat or small dog. And that's all. That's all. For avoiding Lyme disease and hantavirus and other tick-borne illnesses, and for getting rid of carrion in the area and increasing the biodiversity of the animals. What do they ask for? Small sacrifices. Roadrunner. What was question number 2? Is there a movie called Coyote? Coyote Kryptonite. Bad Coyote fell to Ultra Bug Sam. Question number 1. Pizza. All Coyote made fan films. Coyote King Boy. Just a little guy. Great answers. Okay. Well, that's 7 o'clock wrap up time. I barely got halfway through carving this coyote. I figured that there would only be one. For our previous winners, expect me to mail that stuff soon. Probably I'll be mailing this around the same time. I'm going to leave the chat open for another 5 minutes, so if you get your answers in then, I will see who makes me laugh the most, and I'll send it to them. And with that, I'm going to move on to a scene of me taking apart a hand plane, because that is my side hustle, is taking apart hand tools and restoring them. And with that, thanks everyone for showing up. Thanks everyone for learning about coyotes. Hope you learned something about our friendly little guardians out there. And I hope you all have a very good night and enjoy your Tuesday. So I'm just going to use a regular flathead screwdriver. That came apart pretty easy. All the screws, everything is still going to go in. This blade, as you can see here, doesn't have too much life left in it. It's almost to the end. Someone really used this thing, and I think I'll probably have to find a new blade if I want to use this as well. Chip breaker, good condition, good shape. What's kind of cool is we have here our lateral adjuster is almost in mint condition. You can still see the patent dates on it. And the patent dates are right there. But I'm going to take it apart. Ooh, yeah. Everything's coming apart real nicely. See if I can just push that out. Nice. Easy. A little loose on the handle, but that's alright. Take that one off. Take that off. Wiggle. Alright, we got those 2 screws going right in. Of course, if you're going to do this, make sure that you've had your tetanus shot beforehand. You don't want to be getting tetanus in a time like this. The screws going up, right in. And then the last piece I'm going to take off is the blade adjuster. I'll see if I can get a shot with the patent dates inside of this thing. Hopefully. And yeah, you can kind of make it out. There's some printing right there inside of it. This is also in great condition. It says patent. Let's see if I can start this. Patent 1867. There's some writing that I can't really make out. Maybe it says 1858, August 6th, 1867. And then I can definitely see a Bailey patent in there. Some people like to take off the YS Oak, I do not. I think with these older planes it just feels more dangerous to me, and so I am not going to do that. And then these 4.5s have the same style of tote as the 5s. Oh, just the piece came off there. And so they have the 2 screws, which come off pretty straightforward. So screw going right there. Wiggle this one off. Put that to the side. Put these both to the side. See if this come off without any grief. Sometimes it does. It's getting a little wiggle. I don't want to use pliers on this. I only have like regular pliers. I might just try to give it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this seems to be in excellent condition. I think there's just some surface dew that got on it. Alright, so what we're going to be looking at is to see how much of the Japanning is left after this soaks in the vinegar, and seeing if it is salvageable or if it's going to be a full refurbishment. Alright, plop that right in the bath. Okay, everything's almost submerged, so sometimes I'll use a little something extra. A little shot glass. Almost. I'll have to add a little bit more things, but that is that.